What if the reason you can't move forward is simply that there's no room to step into what's next? Today, I'm exploring why making space, letting go of the old, is the key to embracing new opportunities and unexpected blessings.
Welcome to the Live Right Now podcast with me, Allan. This is where mindfulness meets everyday life. Thanks for joining me for this reflection on living with intention. Let's talk about how we can live right now.
Hello, beautiful souls. It's Allan, and welcome to the Live Right Now podcast. Today, I want to talk about making room for the new. I've heard it said that there can be no room for the new if the old is still in the way. This is especially true since we've just begun a new year. We're wired to reflect as one chapter winds down and another begins. We look back, we take stock, we ask ourselves what stays and what needs to go. And for me, this isn't just a seasonal thought, it's personal. It's been a season of transition for me, one filled with unexpected endings and surprising beginnings. I think many of us are standing at similar thresholds right now, wondering what stays, or what needs to go. Well, like a lot of people right now, I've found myself between jobs. If you've been here too, then you know it's a scary and uncertain place. But here's what surprised me. If that decision hadn't been made for me, I would probably still be there. I would have stayed comfortable. I would have stayed busy. I would have kept my head down and my calendar full. And I might never have slowed down enough to notice the opportunities that have appeared since then. But here's what's really caught me off guard, something I didn't really expect at all. When that news broke, I started to hear from people, friends, colleagues, across many chapters of my life, some that I hadn't heard from for a very long time. And they offered not just their support for my situation or simple words of encouragement. They sent me messages that let me know that the time they spent with me meant something to them. Messages like that, as they kept coming consistently and sincerely, when it happened, it really touched me. And I realized something profound. Maybe, just maybe, I had had a more positive impact than I ever knew. But that awareness couldn't come when everything was packed tight. It couldn't break through when there was no space to breathe, no room to receive. That experience reminded me what it really means to let go so something better can arrive. Now, this isn't about the old being bad or wrong. It's not about failure. It's about seasons. It's about purpose being fulfilled so the next thing can emerge. There's this ancient image that I think really gets to the heart of this idea in the Bible, Leviticus chapter 26, verse 10. There's a line that says, "You will still be eating last year's harvest when you'll have to move it out to make room for the new." So you see, it's not about waste. It's not about scarcity. It's about such abundance, such provision that the old harvest, the thing that once sustained you, now has to be cleared out so the new harvest can come in. Now think about that. The old grain wasn't bad. It fed you. It served its purpose beautifully. But if you cling to it, if you hold it out for fear instead of gratitude, there's literally no space for what's next. I've been thinking about how that idea shows up in my own life, and maybe you can relate. Sometimes the very things that once sustained us can quietly take up all the room. The job that used to energize us, the routine that used to bring structure, the version of ourselves that got us this far but can't take us where we need to go next. This season has reminded me that letting go doesn't erase what was, it honors it. Making room for the new doesn't mean the old failed. It means it fulfilled its purpose. And now it's time to step into what's next. So I want to ask you to take a moment and consider this. It doesn't take a life-shattering event to realize something needs to change, to grow, to be fulfilled. So what space are you being invited to open? What beliefs might be outdated? What routines no longer serve you? What version of yourself might be standing in the doorway, blocking something better to come in? You don't have to rush it. You don't have to force clarity. Sometimes the most intentional thing you can do is clear just enough space for the next step to reveal itself. For me, I'm learning to trust that clearing. I'm learning that empty space isn't a void to be feared. It's sacred ground where new things take root. Whatever today brings for you, remember to take things one step at a time. You don't need to be clear on everything all at once. Be mindful of the blessings in every moment, including the ones that look like endings. Embrace the love around you, especially the love that shows up when you create space for it, because there is no other time, only now. Not stuck in what was, not anxious about what's next, but open, present, willing to make room. So until next time, remember to make the most of each moment and live right now.
Thanks for being part of Live Right Now. If you like what you've heard, I encourage you to like and follow the podcast on YouTube or your favorite podcast platform and share it with someone who could use a little inspiration today. Join the conversation on our Facebook page or email me your thoughts at the address in the show notes. I'm Allan Haw. Until next time, make the most of every moment and remember to live right now.